So we've covered the knits and now it's time to do the wovens. Welcome to my channel, Knotty Gnome Crafts. My name is Sarah and you can find me as Knotty Gnome on Instagram. In my last video, we talked about the knit garments that I made in the month of June, and today we're going to talk about the wovens. I will link my previous video down in the description box and also on the end screen, so in case you want to go back and look at everything that I made in the month of June, you can do that after you've watched this one. So let's just get right into it and start with tops. So the first thing that I'm going to go over with you is McCall's 6649. This is an out-of-print pattern, and I've made it once before. I think I made it back in 2017 or 2018, and I had made it previously out of a chambray denim fabric, and I wear that shirt all the time. It's my favorite shirt, so it was high time for me to revisit that pattern and make another version. The fabric is everyday linen from Blackbird Fabrics, and I had bought the fabric to make a pair of pants, which I'm going to show you soon, but I had quite a bit of it left over, so I decided to go ahead and cut out this shirt because I did not own a black linen shirt in my closet, and I was actually a little bit surprised by that because it is such a staple. I love linen, so I went ahead and put together this linen shirt. And I really like this particular pattern, even though unfortunately it is out of print. I like the size of the pockets. I like how this is a little bit of a relaxed fit, but it's not too oversized. And I had made some pattern adjustments the last time that I made it, and so this time around I feel like it fits me really well. This everyday linen is maybe on the heavier side. I don't want to say that it's a thick linen, but it's definitely not a lightweight, loose shirt. So it's actually really great as a layering piece. I can wear it as a cover-up or as a jacket. And so in the clip, I'm showing it worn over a dress. And I actually think that because of the color and the thickness of it, it'll get a lot of wear, probably 3 seasons out of the year. So I'm really glad to have made this shirt. Next up, we have a couple of makes that I have shared previously in a Friday Sews video. So this is actually a refashion, so I had made the Fiber Mood Julia dress, but that dress just never quite sat right with me, and then eventually it didn't fit me anymore. So I went ahead and hacked it into 2 and I made a separate top and a skirt. So once again, I have a really hard time telling you why I didn't like that dress. But I will say that since I have put it into 2 pieces, I just love the separates so much more than I ever loved the dress. I really like the top especially. I'm really loving that cropped length, and the boxiness of the top is sort of offset by how drapey the fabric is. So I feel like it just goes really, really well with lots of different things in my closet because there's so many different colors in the fabric. It's bright, but it's not too overwhelming. And I think especially with the ability to pair it as separates and wear it with more solid or more neutral sort of for the other piece, it kind of tones it down a little bit, and for me it makes it more wearable. So although I really like both pieces and I like the way that they look together, and that's how I styled it in my Friday Sews video, I prefer them as separates, and if I'm going to pick one, I think I like the top a little bit better than the skirt, but I do really like both of them, and I think I'm going to get so much more wear out of them now that they are separates. Next up, we have the New Look 6644 linen joggers, and I also talked about this in that same Friday Sews video in more detail. But I made the size 8 in these, and this fabric is a washed linen from Stylemaker Fabrics that I had purchased quite a while ago, I think about a year ago, and I had bought it to make a dress. So this did not take all the fabric, and you will be seeing this fabric again in just a few moments. But I really love these joggers. I've actually already worn them maybe 3 times since I made them, which for me is quite a lot. They're very, very comfortable. I like the elasticated legs because it gives it that more casual jogger style feel, but you can still dress it up for work and make it look really nice with a dressier top. I really feel like this is going to be a staple piece in my closet that I'm going to have for years to come, as long as it fits my waistline. And yeah, very, very comfortable. And I think I like these enough that if I got to the point where I needed to make an adjustment to the waist, whether it's because I got bigger or smaller, I think I would actually go ahead and go in and change the elastic and adjust it, because I just like these so much. I want to be able to wear them all the time. Moving on to my next pair of pants is the Style Arc Berry Pant. Now I do have a full review and styling video of this make, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I used the everyday linen from Blackbird Fabrics that I talked about earlier, and I made these pants, and I am just finding even more ways to wear them, so I wanted to go ahead and bring them back one more time with another styling option. This time I paired it with the shirt that I made, the McCall's shirt, and I tucked it in, and I have kind of like a faux boiler suit look, and I really like the way that this looks. I don't think I would wear this look in the heat of summer, but maybe when the weather's a little bit cooler. I do like the way that it pairs together, and I think it just looks very effortless, and you still have the ease of not actually wearing a jumpsuit, so it's easier to use the restroom and whatnot, but I do really like these pants, and I continue to find more new and interesting ways to style them. If you're enjoying seeing all of these makes, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up, because it signals YouTube to send my video out to more viewers. Thank you so much for helping my channel grow. Now I'm going to insert a clip from a few weeks ago when I talked about the Thread Theory Jutland pants. Hi, it's me again. I'm coming to you from the past to talk to you about a pair of pants that I made for my husband. Now, because I know my husband really well, I'm actually shooting this video right after I finish the pants, because I know that the moment that I give them to him, he's gonna spill paint on them or get grease stains on it or something like that. And so I just wanted to show you the pants while they're still new. A couple weeks back, my husband brought me a pair of pants that he said were his favorites, and apparently that brand or whatever has been discontinued and he can't get them anymore. So he asked me if I could copy the pants. And I looked at them and I was basically like, no. I used to be a member of Craftsy like a million years ago, and I watched a class about copying ready-to-wear clothing. So I'm familiar with the process. I know that there's different methods. It's just not something that I would enjoy doing. I would find it very tedious and irritating. And so I really just didn't want to do that. But I said what I can do is that I do have some men's pants patterns in my stash. I could adapt one of them to make it as close as possible to your ready-to-wear pants. And he was basically very skeptical, but because he likes the way that his pants fit. But I told him that I would do my best to make them fit just the same, and so he agreed. I had bought the Thread Theory Jutland pants a number of years ago, but I'd never actually made them. So I thought that they were the closest in style to the pants that he likes. So I went ahead and printed out that pattern, and for him I made the size 32 at the waist and the hip, and then I graded to a size 30 for the thigh on down to the hem. I did have to shorten it. The legs I think I shortened by 5.5 inches. And because I had the original pants as a guide, it was actually relatively simple to measure the pants that I already had and compare them to the pattern. So I did end up reshaping the back crotch shape quite extensively. The original Thread Theory pants have more of like the L shape where there's more of an extension here for larger thighs, whereas my husband's pants had more of the J shape where it was really shallow. And so I did switch up that curve to match his pants that he has on hand already. So I did a lot of work to that, but otherwise I don't think that I made a lot of other fitting adjustments. I did make quite a few style adjustments. So the original, the Jutland pants have darts in the back. They don't have a yoke. And so I just created a yoke by closing up the dart. And the size of the pockets on my husband's ready-to-wear pants were a lot different from the Jutlands. So let me just show you the Jutland pants pattern. This is the back pocket piece. And this is the one that I ended up drafting for my husband's pants. He likes back pockets to be absolutely enormous. So I had to make the pocket bigger. And then actually there's a cargo pocket on the right-hand side of his ready-to-wear pants, but it's actually a bit smaller than the Jutlands. The Jutlands have like a pleated pocket with a flap. My husband doesn't like that. He just wanted a simple little slip pocket. So I drafted that. It was really simple. It was just a little rectangle. And I added that to the side of his pants. So the fabric that I used was a stretch cotton twill that I got from Joann Fabrics. I didn't really want a stretch fabric, but when I went to Joann's, that's pretty much all they had on hand, so I had to go with the stretch. And this fabric was relatively inexpensive, so this is sort of the wearable muslin. And if he ends up wearing these a few times and likes them, then I will go ahead and try to source some really nice sturdy pant fabric and buy it in lots of different colors, because he did ask me to make like 10 pairs of these. So the construction on these is really strange. It's different from any other pair of pants that I've ever made. So the styling of these is extremely similar to jeans, but it's constructed where you put the legs together individually and then you put one inside the other and you do up the crotch seam and then you do the fly last. And the only thing I could figure out is I think they make you do it that way because they want you to do flat felled seams on the legs. And I didn't do that. I did faux flat fell seams. So I don't know. I followed their instructions because I wanted to see if maybe there's a better way to do things, and it did go together okay, but it just wasn't my favorite construction. And the next time that I make these, I'll just put them together like I would normally sew jeans. I think that would make more logical sense. One thing I will say is that they don't tell you to do a ton of top stitching, and I wanted the top stitching just to look more like his other pants. So I do think that because I had to top stitch the crotch seam kind of last when the pants were already put together, it made it really challenging, so it's not as clean as I would like. So that's why I think if I did it over again, I would just construct it like a normal pair of jeans and it'd be a lot simpler. So for top stitching thread, I did use actual top stitching thread, but I didn't have any navy, and so I used black. And I actually kind of like the way that it looks because it's subtle, but the black does stand out a little bit against the blue. So I like the way that that looks. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get my husband to pose for pictures, but I will insert some full-length pictures so you can see what the pants look like. And that was my first pair wearable muslin of the Jutland pants. And like I said, there's probably going to be many more to come in the next, well, probably year or so. I don't think that I can make him 10 pairs like one right after another, but maybe I could do something like make him a new pair like every other month or something. So I think he's happy with them. The fit seems pretty good, pretty similar to his original pants. And yeah, that was the Jutland pants by Thread Theory. Now for these next two makes, again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I will be filming a full review of these two patterns. I made the Megan Nielsen Ash jeans and the Megan Nielsen Dawn shorts, and I thought it might be really helpful to do a comparison review so that you can kind of see the differences between the patterns and the similarities. So for now, I'm just going to share with you that I made the Ash jeans out of a stretch denim that's been in my stash for quite a while. I got it from Threadbare Fabrics. I'm not sure what the weight of the denim is, but the stretch percentage was about 15%, and it worked really well for this particular pattern. And I'm very happy with how these jeans came out. I made the version that has the boot cut, and I just love having a pair of boot cut jeans in my wardrobe. They're my favorite leg style, and I'm sure that more of these will be coming in my wardrobe later in the year. For the Dawn shorts, I used a 12-ounce denim from Joann Fabrics, and I had purchased just 1 yard, and I made quite a few modifications to these shorts, and then I actually was not happy with the fit, so I went back in and I did a little bit more work on it to get the fit a bit better. And I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect, but I do really like how these shorts turned out. And I do think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of them this summer. I just love a jean short for the summer. They're probably one of my favorite staple pieces for the summertime. So I really like this pair, and eventually I would like to make more pairs of this as well. So the last two items I have to share with you are the same pattern. I made the Ready to Sew Jazz Jumpsuit, which is a mix and match pattern that comes with different bodices and different bottoms, and then you can mix and match them interchangeably, and I think there's up to 80 different versions that you can make. So I wanted to make the short overalls because I just think that they're the perfect loungewear piece for the summertime. And I've basically been living in both of these since I finished them, so I really, really like them. This first version that I made is out of a 4-ounce denim that I got from Joann Fabrics, and I made the version that has the bib front, and then it has a crossed strap in the back, and then it has like a really, really wide leg short. So the pattern is designed to have a button front, but I decided to go with these pearl snaps. Now I do not have like a professional snap presser, so I have to like hammer my snaps on. And for whatever reason, I am just horrible at getting my snaps actually lined up because I don't know why, but I just can't do it. They're always end up a little bit crooked. So yeah, my snaps are not perfect, but hopefully you won't look at that too closely. I do like the convenience of snaps. I think that that's a nice feature, but probably in the future, if I make this again, and I will at some point, I'll probably just stick to buttons. But I do really, really like this version. I probably wear this one a little bit more than the other one, at least so far. The pattern is just so incredibly comfortable, and I can't believe that I waited so long to make myself some overalls, but I'm really glad that I made myself 2 pairs this month. The second pair used the remainder of my washed linen that I got from StyleMaker that I used in my joggers. So for this version, I did not want it to be exactly the same as the first version, so I opted to do the plain front so there's no buttons, and then it has a zipper in the back. Now I had intended to do my favorite zipper insertion method, which uses a standard zipper. Sorry, let me take this off the hanger. It uses a standard zipper, but it actually covers most of the zipper with fabric. But I forgot that you can actually only do that if you have 5/8 inch seam allowances, and this pattern is drafted to have 3/8 inch seam allowances. So I was not able to do it that way. I had to do the more standard looking centered zipper where it shows, but luckily the zipper that I had in my stash matches the fabric pretty well, so I think that worked out nicely. And then I did not quite have enough fabric to do the entire overalls in the linen, so I just used a contrast quilting cotton from my stash, and I think that it's like really cute. It's just a little bit of a peekaboo on the inside for the bib facing, and then I also used it for the pocket bags. The last change that I made on this particular pair is that I converted the gathers at the waistline into pleats. So there is a hack tutorial on the Ready to Sew blog where you can add these little pleats, and I really like the way that the pleats look actually. I think I prefer it to the gathers. So when I make this jumpsuit or this pattern again in the future, I think that I might incorporate those pleats. I do prefer the way that the flat front looks with the pleats rather than having those gathers. But I am just so excited about the jazz pattern. Again, I don't know why I waited so long to actually make it, but now that I have, there are so many variations in that pattern that I want to try that I haven't made yet. I'm even interested in doing some of the dresses down the road. So I do think that that is a pattern I'm going to be revisiting again and again. So that is everything that I made in the month of June. If I counted correctly, I think I ended up with 21 items for the month, which is definitely too many, but I am working on slowing down in the month of July. And I gotta say, I don't really have any regrets. I absolutely love every single one of these pieces that I've made, and I think that I'm gonna wear them a lot. So I'm really happy with my output, even if I do feel like maybe it was a bit much. So I'm really glad that you've stayed with me and you've come on my journey through the tour of the makes that I did in June. Thank you so much for watching. I will put up the video from the last time with my knit makes in case you want to go back and check that out. And I will see you again next time.